Hello, welcome to American Teacher on YouTube. If you haven't, please click subscribe and give me a thumbs up and leave some comments in the comment section below. Okay, today's topic is about climate change and modern evidence of climate change. So according to the EPA at epa.gov/climate-indicators, the American EPA says the extent of areas burned by wildfires each year appears to have increased since the 1980s. According to the National Interagency Fire Center data, of the 10 years with the largest acreage burned, all have occurred since 2004, including the peak year in 2015. This period coincides with many of the warmest years on record nationwide, and it has a link to the U.S. Global Temperature Indicator. The largest increases have occurred during the spring and summer months. Okay, and of course, we've had wildfires in the West that are happening with increasing frequency and covering larger areas. And recently we had the unprecedented floods in Europe. According to the United Nations, the World Meteorological Organization said that countries including Belgium, Germany, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands had received up to 2 months rain in 2 days from the 14th to 15th of July 2021 on ground that was already near saturation. So why is this happening? Well, climate change is caused by global warming, and what's happening is, as more water evaporates due to global warming, the rainfall in some areas becomes much greater than usual. Okay, so in the Associated Press, in an article that's dated today, July 19th, 2021, it's titled, "Dangerous Conditions Complicate Wildfire Fight in the Western U.S." Bly, Oregon, AP. Erratic winds and parched Oregon forests added to the dangers for firefighters on Monday as they battled the largest wildfire in the U.S., one of the dozens burning across several western states. The destructive bootleg fire was considered one of the largest in modern Oregon history and was burning more than 476 square miles, or 1,210 square kilometers, an area about the size of Los Angeles. The blaze just north of the California border was 25% contained. Meteorologists predicted critically dangerous fire weather through at least Monday, with lightning possible in both California and southern Oregon. Quote, "With the very dry fuels, any thunderstorm has the potential to ignite new fire starts," end quote, the National Weather Service in Sacramento, California, said on Twitter. Thousands of people were already facing evacuation orders, including some 2,000 people residing in the largely rural areas of lakes and wildlife refuge near the fire, which has burned at least 67 homes and 100 outbuildings while threatening many more. Extremely dry conditions and heat waves tied to climate change have swept the region, making wildfires harder to fight. Climate change has made the West much warmer and drier in the past 30 years and will continue to make weather more extreme and wildfires more frequent and destructive. Okay, so jumping from the wildfires in the western U.S., of course, a few days ago we had the floods in Europe. So on BBC News and an article that is dated 2 days ago, which would have been July 17th, 2021. It says Europe floods, at least 120 dead and hundreds unaccounted for. At least 120 people have died and hundreds more in Western Europe are unaccounted for after some of the worst flooding in decades. Record rainfall caused rivers to burst their banks, devastating the region. In Germany, where the death toll now stands at over 100, Chancellor Angela Merkel called for a determined battle against climate change. At least 20 people have died in Belgium. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, and Switzerland are also affected. Many factors contribute to flooding, but a warming atmosphere caused by climate change makes extreme rainfall more likely. The world has already warmed by about 1.2 degrees Celsius since the industrial era began, and temperatures will keep rising unless governments around the world make steep cuts to emissions. And it goes on to tell some of the more personal stories of the people who lived in the area that flooded, and it shows some pictures of Erfstadt Blessum, which is a German town that was wiped out by the flood. Some dramatic pictures. So the evidence of climate change is becoming harder and harder to ignore. And I feel frustrated with people who say, well, we don't have the technology to combat climate change, or it's too expensive to combat climate change. Both of these are false. We do have the technology. In the beginning, it will be more expensive. And I think governments should help subsidize the renewable energy resources that will help combat climate change. Here in Taiwan, the government has several initiatives to encourage people to conserve electricity and energy. One of those is they provide some subsidies for energy efficient appliances. Another is that the electric company Tai Power, which is a government-run utility, will actually decrease your electric bill if they will apply a discount to your electric bill if you are able to save energy year over year. So let's say last July you spent $100 US. And this July you only spend $70 US. The utility company will give you a discount on your utility bill for using less energy this year than the year before. So those are small things that governments can do. But really we need a government initiative to encourage utilities to switch to and help subsidize the cost of switching over to greener sources of energy, renewable sources of energy. And I really think that in the long run, it will work out to be cheaper than if we ignore this huge problem that's bearing down upon us of climate change and just hope for the best and continue to burn fossil fuels. That is not a solution. That will lead to more intense heat and climate change and loss of property in the trillions. So we need to focus right now on switching to green energy. And we do have the technology to do that now. It is more expensive in the short term, but in the long term, it will save possibly trillions of dollars. So climate change is real. We're seeing the effects now. And if we don't prepare now, then we are going to face much greater disasters in the near future. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment box below. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching American Teacher. Bye-bye.